Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gina once again. I'm doing number 18 and 19 of 61 days of ICAD 2023. I am using 4x6 index cards. I am putting some acrylic paint on them as my base. I'm actually still deciding if I would like to use book pages. So while I'm still deciding, I'm thinking let me just add some paint in the meantime. So what usually happens is when I don't know what to do, I just add paint. And then, ideas just kind of flow after that. Plus, I kind of look around on my desk and I decide, hey, maybe I could use this. Or, hey, look, I have that. Let me use that. So that's what happens. Today, I thought I would like to put some holes in my cards. So this is going to be the background. I'm using purple and orange. I know, some interesting colors. Fine orange. It's kind of a bit intense. And I'm wondering if I should have used different colors, but purple and orange it is. So the pieces I'm going to cut out is as this square-ish looking shape and this heart. So I'm just going to rip it out because I want some nice jagged edges. Don't want the smooth, crisp look. And then we'll see how things go from there. I thought I would tape the back of them because I feel like I want to use them on another card. So, as mashed up and jagged as they look, I think it's going to be great on another card. So I'm now outlining the edges with a Sharpie China marker to see how that looks, to give it a nice border and to help it stand out when I decide to add other things to it. So I'm just putting it on top to see how it looks. I like it. It's cool. And now I'm going to put down my base paint, which is the orange. Honestly, not much thought went into this. Otherwise, honestly, I would not have just added the orange straight on like this. But I just thought orange and purple today. Just orange and purple. And then I thought that it looked really, really orange, so I'm just adding some touches of purple in between, around it, just for a little highlight. And then I decided to scrape that up using the back of the brush. And with this one, I'm using the pencil. So I'm doing the same things, but slightly different. So as usual, the cards are very similar, but slightly different. And here I'm adding my lovely script stamp, which I'm just in love with. The other day I couldn't find it and I was freaking out just a tiny bit. But I knew it had to be here because I didn't carry it anywhere. So I found it and I was super happy. So now I'm using a plastic card just to make some marks, a little border, white border around my square-ish, shape-ish, rectangular-ish shape. And then I'm just pulling some of that paint outwards just to help define that border even more. And with this one, I'm using the back of the paintbrush just to add some little white dots in the middle of those circular marks that I made. And I found the card was really orange, so I'm just trying to break up that orange by adding just a brush of white. My brush is basically dry. And I just dipped it in paint and adding a light, just lightly brushing it, just to add some, just to break up that orange. It just was real orange. And now I'm coming in with my pen. This is my Signo pen. And just darkening those areas around the heart and my square, giving it a nice border. I decided as well while I was doing that to just give it a nice messy line border around my card as well. I was going to use the paint, but then I thought maybe it might look too dark, so I just came in with my lines instead. So again, I found that the card was looking way too orange. So this is my attempt at lightening some of those areas, making it a little less orange. I didn't really like how the attempt was going, but I still kept going, still kept trying at it, just to lighten some of those areas because it looked really intensely orange to me. And then I was looking for my fan brush because I thought, you know what's going to fix this? Some splashes, because splashes in my book fixes everything. But I couldn't find my fan brush, and I know it's really close by. I just wanted it right away. So I used the brush I was using, and of course I got some big fat splashes and some nice little dots, which, you know, I was like, you know what, this is cool. You get some nice variation, which is nice. So now it's time to put my background, which is the purple background, in my hole. And I'm just trying to figure out which direction to put it in and how to size it down so I could get it stuck to the back. And for this, the edges of this rough tear out that I did, I thought, instead of using black like I normally do or some dark color, I thought, how about we use white? It probably wouldn't show up as much like all the really nice jaggedy jags, but I mean, let's try white and see how it looks. And I liked it. It didn't show up as much as I was hoping, but I was like, yeah man, let's do the white. Let's do something different. So I'm just sizing that down and gonna get it stuck down. But before I did that, I saw some netting that I had on the side, and I thought how cool it would be if I added some of that through some of the texture paste through that. So that's that, right? That's the netting there, and I'm just gonna add it in the corners, just a little bit. My texture piece is drying up again. I'm gonna have to add some more moisture, which is just spritzing some water and then mixing it up. But I'm just adding some of that texture paste on it. I was trying to figure out if I should add some color to it, but I thought no, because I wanted to break up the orange. So it feels amazing. I would love all of you to try it. If you have something really small to put your texture paste through, it feels amazing. Anyway, so I wanted to brighten up the edges of this rough edge that I teared out. So I'm using the Acrylic Paint marker to do that. And it was much brighter and I loved it. Ta-da! And now I'm gonna get it stuck down. So my intention was, at this point, keep it simple. Even though the card isn't very simple, there's a lot going on. But my word for this card is secure. I chose secure because of the border and the shape inside, and it just felt contained and it felt secure to me. You know, like you close all your windows, you lock your doors, and everything is now secure. So that's the vibe that I got. So I'm just adding some acrylic paint to the border of this, and I'm thinking I want to put this inside. It reminds me of a television. I just keep thinking TV. This piece of netting is actually from garlic. I usually keep the netting to use in my projects, so I'm using piece just as a little background, and I kind of liked how it looked, but it still felt like it was missing something. So I pulled some white thread, just regular thread, and I bunched it up and I put that behind the wood but on top of the netting, and I loved how that looked, and I was like, yes, And I even liked how piece was hanging down and piece was going across, and I just left it like that and stuck it because I wanted it to stay like that instead of moving around. So yeah, so this is it for this card. I really like it. Makes me feel happy, secure. And then I'm going to move on to my next card to try and get that finished. So now I'm trying to fix this piece in the back. I wanted to not waste paper and use the cut off from the last piece that I ripped. So I'm going to struggle a bit trying to figure out how to get this to fit in the back. I didn't mind that the words were a bit slanted, but I didn't want it to face in the opposite direction altogether. So I'm just going to fiddle around and try and get that fitted. I was thinking of doing something with this tape, but I changed my mind and then I decided to bunch it up and stick it on top of the purple part. Then I thought, if I'm doing one strip, if I have two, then I should do three, because you know things look better in threes. And I thought that looked okay, and I just went ahead and did the third one. And all the while I'm thinking, do I really want these here? Do I? But I felt like it was just too plain and I wanted to add something else, some other type of texture on that background. That's all that this tape was about. I just felt like it needed some more texture. So I didn't really like the color of it. Well, it's not that I didn't like it, but I didn't feel like it went with the card, the colors on the card. So I just came in with a little white paint and just brushed it lightly over it, very messily. I didn't really take my time, just to add some white over that so it matched more with the card, in my opinion. And then I didn't like how that looked, so I took my Stabilo All pencil and I just lightly brushed over the bumps with it, so it just highlighted those raised areas, which I found looked really cool. And then I thought, okay, let me leave that and bring in my wood, and then I'll see if I want to add anything else or just add my wood. And my word for this card was choice. I chose choice because of the heart. And the first thing and only thing that came to mind was love is a choice. Here I'm using my Pilot pen, gold pen, it felt like it needed gold. I was like, this card needs some gold. So I searched for my pen and I just drew in some. Now you're only going to see it if you tilt it, you know, certain ways for the light to hit it. But I also like that element of surprise as well. So I'm adding some on the heart as well as on the card itself. Just some gold scribbles here and there. Oh yes, and I also did some on the strips. Look at that, I forgot. Even though I just did it. Woo, my brain's got so much stuff happening. So I got that stuck down to the back, finally satisfied enough to stick it. And then I'm going to try to find out, and I'm putting a gold border on this one instead. And then trying to figure out where am I going to put this, where in my mind's eye looks best. So I finally decided on this spot, and then I found it was looking so naked. So I put piece of the netting that I had cut off from before, I put that behind it. And yeah, I just wanted to keep it simple. I was thinking of adding something on top of the netting, just like with the thread on the other card, but I left it as is. And then I just took the other piece of netting that I cut and I just stuck it on that side to help it feel a little more balanced. So it's just a hint of texture you know, it's not instantly visible kind of thing, because it's subtle. It's subtle, yeah. So I like that. And I'm not a fan of the colors, but I like the general card. I'm not a fan of the colors today. So I'm just gonna give you all a moving close-up. Yes, because I keep moving the card, so it's a moving close-up. And yeah, this is it for my 2 cards today. As always, I'm looking forward to your comments, thoughts, suggestions. You know, I hope it has inspired you to create as well, and, you know, reminded you of something you may have tried, because I'm sure nothing here is new. But, you know, sometimes we are reminded of things that we did or seen and we wanted to try. At least it happens with me. And that's it. So let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, everyone.